everyone. This is Commissioner Yamamoto. Today is Tuesday, February 8th, 2022, and we will call this meeting to order at 8:01 a.m. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to please mute your phones. You can do this by pressing *6. Please unmute yourself when called to speak. Again, pressing *6. It is very important for all others to remain muted. Thank you. So I want to welcome everyone to our Tuesday morning community call, and let's do the commissioner's roll call. I don't believe Commissioner Bell is going to be joining us this morning. She is on a well-deserved vacation. Do we have Commissioner Scar?
Good morning, you do. I'm here.
Good morning. So let's move right on into Adventist Health Tillamook. Eric Swanson.
Hey, good morning, Commissioner. 15 patients in the hospital this morning. We have less than 3 COVID patients who are admitted as inpatients. No patients boarding in the emergency department, which is great news. Surgery has 5 cases scheduled today. All are elective or non-urgent. Ambulance did 7 911 transports yesterday, 2 inter-facility transfers, and no transports home. And this morning, the number of hospitalized patients with COVID-19 across Oregon is 1,072, which is 1 fewer than yesterday. There are 197 COVID-19 patients in intensive care unit beds, which is 15 more than yesterday. 87 of those patients are on ventilators, 842 ventilators available across Oregon. 66 available adult ICU beds out of 618 total. That's 11% availability. 339 available adult non-ICU beds out of 4,113, or 8% availability. In Region 1, we have 31 adult ICU beds available, or 9%. And for adult non-ICU beds, there's 69 available, which is 3%. February 3, Dr. Peter Draven updated, that was last Friday, updated his COVID-19 forecast for Oregon. And he said that in regions 3, 5, and 9, we are still seeing some increase in COVID-19 admissions. And again, we're focused on hospital admissions only, my report is. All other regions, which includes us in Region 1, they appear flat or declining, which is good news. The per capita basis, the peak in the U.S. average is 36% higher than the current peak in Oregon, which is also excellent news. And the peak was scheduled or predicted to be on Sunday with 1,169 admissions. And you can see that this morning we're at 1,072 admissions. So all of those, in my opinion, that's all great news. He also shared with us in that report that there's a steady biweekly decline. So he's projecting that by March 16th, we'll only have 600 patients admitted. And then by May 3rd, 100 patients with COVID admitted across Oregon. Remember, it's a projection, but that's all good news. This morning, I'm in Phoenix at the American Hospital Association's Rural Health Care Leadership Conference. And yesterday, we heard some really inspiring stories from across the nation on how small communities just like ours fought during this pandemic over the last 2 years. And while we're not done with the fight quite yet, things look promising. And so I just want to take a moment to thank everybody who's been on the front lines of this battle. Thank you to our fire and law enforcement first responders. Thanks to our dedicated paramedics who provide amazing care. And because of our bed issue, sometimes take super long transports. I want to thank our partners at Reinhardt Clinic and Tillamook County Community Health Centers. Thanks to everybody who works in our Adventist Health medical offices. And of course, thanks to our nurses, doctors, respiratory therapists, and all the direct care providers in the hospital. And last but not least, I want to thank everybody who does the behind the scenes work to keep the hospital operating. The people cleaning the rooms, registering patients, answering the phone, preparing food. We can't do it without all of these dedicated professionals. So unless you've got questions, that's all I've got for you this morning.
Eric, thank you so much for that report. I'm hoping, and I know because you've said it, I'm hoping you are thinking that this is finally moving in the right direction. Who knows if this will ever be over. but numbers are on their way down. Maybe we're going to another month. I think it's all great news. I really do.
Yeah, I sure hope so, Commissioner. It's time, and of course, we just don't want people to be sick. And it's been a rough 2 years for all of us, and it seems like we're moving in the right direction.
It has been a rough 2 years. There's no doubt about it. Do we have any other questions for Eric Swanson? Thank you so much, Eric, for being here. Appreciate it so much.
You're welcome. Have a good
So
day.
we're going to move to the Coastal Caucus, and I know we have our newest senator, Senator Rachel Armitage, on with us, but I don't know if we have any of the other Coastal Caucus members. Do we? I know short session has started. Everyone's busy. So let me please introduce to you our newest senator, Senator Rachel Armitage. I've seen her in a few meetings already over the past week and a half or so, and it's great to see her. Thank you, Senator Armitage, for being with us this morning. And I'm going to turn it over to you and allow you just a few minutes to introduce yourself and give us an idea of how things are going for you. So you will have to unmute yourself. Senator Armitage, are you there? So I see you online. I believe you are muted. Huh. So Senator Armitage, tell you what, I'm going to give you a couple minutes here. We're going to move on to the Tillamook County Community Health Center, and I'm going to come back to you, hopefully, and you might try logging out and logging back in. Oftentimes that will work if you're having problems. So I hope you don't mind. We're going to take a quick detour here, and we're going to go to the Tillamook County Community Health Center. I'm hoping we have Marlene Putman and or Ed Colson with us.
Good morning, Tillamook County. This is Ed Colson here with the health update for the community. Good morning. So Tillamook County Public Health is pleased to announce that Tillamook County Community Health Center has received an additional small supply of COVID-19 quick antigen home test kits that will be distributed across all areas of the county at no cost. These COVID-19 home test kits were made available to our agency to increase access to COVID-19 testing for populations and groups of people that have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. The COVID-19 home test kits were available to the community for pickup yesterday, February 7th in Central County, and will be in South and North County at the following locations and days. So we will be in South County today, Tuesday, February 8th, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Nestucca Rural Fire District's Hebo Fire Station 87, and that's at 30710 Highway 101 South in Cloverdale. And then from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., we will be at the South Tillamook County Library in Pacific City at 6200 Camp Street. For North County, this Friday on the 12th, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., we'll be at the Rockaway Beach Chamber of Commerce, 103 South 1st Street in Rockaway Beach. And then later that afternoon, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., we'll be at St. Catherine's Episcopal Church in Nehalem, 36335 Highway 101 North. So you'll be able to pick up your COVID-19 home test kits at those locations there. So our county data and updates, our weekend case count from February 4th through February 6th is 34. Our 7-day case count from the 31st of January to the 5th of February is 177. Our 14-day case count, January 23rd through February 5th, was 411. Our total cases for February from the 1st through the 6th are 140. Excuse me. Our total cases to date from March 2020 through the 6th of February is 3,400. Our COVID-19 related deaths are 57, 43 unvaccinated, 13 vaccinated, and 1 not having a record in the alert database. Our total COVID-19 related hospitalizations are 128. Our active outbreaks per OHA are 4 reportable and 15 under monitoring for a total of 19. Our test positivity rate per OHA from the 31st through the 5th is 30.6. And our 7-day statewide breakthrough rate per OHA, and this is the statewide rate, is from the 23rd of January through the 29th, 65.3% of COVID-19 cases were unvaccinated versus 34.7% of COVID-19 cases were vaccine breakthroughs. Of all vaccine breakthrough cases, 31.4% were fully vaccinated and boosted. So as announced just yesterday by the Oregon Health Authority, Oregon health officials plan to lift the indoor mask requirement by March 31st. So due to the steps that Oregons have taken, such as wearing a mask, choosing to be vaccinated, and avoiding large gatherings, we have slowed the Omicron surge with COVID-19 hospitalizations, being under the previous high point of 1,178 from the Delta surge, despite the initial projections that warned that Omicron hospitalizations could more than double Delta's. In addition, as reported by OHA, over the past week, statewide, the average number of newly diagnosed cases has dropped about 40%, and Oregon's 7-day total COVID-19 hospitalizations have inched down another 1%. The data does show beginning signs of emergence from this Omicron surge, but we must keep up the preventative measure in the coming weeks as cases still remain higher than prior to the surge to prevent additional hospitalizations and deaths. It is strongly recommended that high-risk individuals continue wearing masks in indoor public settings after these mask requirements are lifted, including people who are unvaccinated, immunocompromised, at risk of COVID-19 hospitalizations, including those with underlying health conditions and those 65 and older, and those who are living with people at high risk. Once these requirements are lifted, employers and businesses may continue to establish their own mask requirements to protect employees and customers. The mask requirement for healthcare workers will not be lifted March 31st. There is more information on OHA's website and their COVID-19 page regarding this news release. So our vaccine update. COVID-19 vaccines remain the best tool to reduce spread and protect you from severe disease from COVID-19, including hospitalizations and death. If you are not yet vaccinated, please choose to make a plan for everyone 5 years and older in your household to be vaccinated as soon as possible. If you are fully vaccinated, choose to receive a booster as soon as you are able to. People who are eligible for a booster dose include those 18 and older, 5 months from the completion of the Moderna series, 12 years old and older, 5 months from the completion of the Pfizer series, those 18 and older, 2 months from the single Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and those who have received, or those who have moderately to severely compromised immune systems who have received the 3rd dose of Moderna and Pfizer at least 6 months ago. Now, in addition, those aged 5 to 11 years old who have moderately to severely compromised immune systems are now eligible for a 3rd dose of Pfizer, 28 days following the 2nd Pfizer dose. So for our numbers in the county, those who have had at least 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine is 18,520. Out of our 16 and older population, that is 84.32%. Out of our 12 and older population, that is 79.78%. And our total population in Tillamook County who has received at least 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine is 69.81%. And that's as of February 6th. Those fully vaccinated are 16,984. Out of our 16 and older population, that puts us at 77.32%. Out of our 12 and older population, 73.16%. And out of our total population in Tillamook County, 64.02%, also as of the 6th. Tillamook County Community Health Center has a walk-in vaccine clinic at the Fairgrounds Convention Center that is open each Thursday in February from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we have Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines in their 1st, 2nd, third, and booster doses. We also have the pediatric Pfizer, and we have flu and pneumonia vaccines also available. If you can't make it to the walk-in clinic, COVID-19 vaccines are available Monday through Friday at our main clinic, 801 Pacific Avenue, and appointments are preferred, so please give us a call at 503-842-3900 to schedule. Adventist Health at the Plaza Women and Family Health and Occupational Med Office has vaccines available Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then on Fridays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. by appointment or walk-in. In Pacific City on Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. by appointment or walk-in. And then our partners in North County at the Nehalem Bay Health Center also has vaccines available weekly by appointment, as well as our local pharmacies at Safeway, Fred Meyer, and Tillamook Pharmacy. So that's our COVID-19 update. I'll turn it back over to you, Commissioner Yamamoto.
Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that. Again, I'm glad to see that things are moving in the right direction, especially here in Tillamook County. I do. Do we have any questions for Mr. Colson? Thank you, Ed. So I see that Senator Armitage is back online. Senator, can you hear me? And can you unmute yourself?
I can. Hello.
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Woohoo, we've done it.
I would love to do a quick introduction. Senator Rachel Armitage, our newest senator, she has replaced Senator Betsy Johnson in that position. And again, I have seen Senator Armitage online at several meetings that I have attended, and it's great to have her here. I believe, I'm not positive, but I believe you are the only Coastal Caucus member we have online. So I'd love to give you just a few minutes to introduce yourself and give us an idea of what's been going on in your life, especially over the past couple of weeks.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Commissioner Yamamoto, and thank you everybody else for your patience. I was struggling with some technical difficulties. I am here to provide an overview. If I don't answer a question that you might have, I will look into it and provide an answer next week, or I can email you personally and just make sure you have that information. So I represent Tillamook County as well as Senator Anderson, and then Columbia County, Clatsop, and slices of Multnomah, Washington, and Yamhill counties. Beautiful districts, and I'm very proud to represent you. I'm also very excited to be here and provide an update about what's going on in Salem. So first, to go over the committees that I sit on, I am on Veterans and Emergency Preparedness, Finance and Revenue, and then I am the co-chair of the Joint Committee on Information Management and Technology. And each of these committees has either had one or two meetings so far, so we are just getting started. And I'd love to give you an idea about the priorities that I've heard about in each of those. So with Veterans and Emergency Preparedness, we just passed out of committee the Oregon Nisei Veterans World War II Memorial Highway, which is the highway that commemorates the Japanese soldiers who served in World War II and their sacrifices during that time. The testimony during that meeting was incredibly moving, and I was very excited to support that. There also is another bill, the CEI Hub bill, coming up, and this bill is an emergency preparedness bill that I am still learning about a lot of the details, but the broad overview is that it protects fuel facilities and their safety. It's something that could be very good for the coast. It also has a lot to do with the fuel facilities that are on the Portland-Scappoose side of this Senate district too. So as far as information management and technology is concerned, we're considering funding a project that came out of the federal government's infrastructure package to establish a cybersecurity information center with PSU, OSU, and U of O. And this would help students take on projects and learn more about taking on cybersecurity professions, and they could also meet the needs of local governments and entities and their cybersecurity needs really exciting bill. Just had an informational hearing on it, so I'm still learning more. And then in finance and revenue, we're considering a number of proposals, one of which is a local marijuana tax. It gives cities the ability to tax marijuana, I believe, up to 10%, and they would have to decide to do that, and those funds would go to support local programs and local infrastructure, which I think is great. So that's what's going on just in my committees. Other priorities I am working on include childcare. We have a huge childcare infrastructure package starting in the House. Childcare is something I heard a lot about when I was seeking this appointment. We have a lot of folks who are really, struggling to go to work and put food on the table because they just can't find childcare. And so I'm really excited about our child care infrastructure package, but I also have introduced my own bill that creates marginal capacity in certified residential child care centers. It increases that total limit from 16 to 18. So certainly not something that's going to overhaul the whole system, but we may be able to use that bill to get a few more kids into care in every community, which I think really adds up. Representative Weber has introduced a bill, that's House Bill 4053, that would create a study to review some of the vulnerabilities of Highway 6 or to create a comprehensive list of vulnerabilities in Highway 6 so that we can address those issues, which I think is very important for this district. I will be sponsoring that. And then one bill that I am still learning about that impacts this district is the Private Forest Accord. This is a bill that the governor sort of pulled together industry professionals and environmentalists together, and they came up with some shared agreements around watershed management mostly, as well as some other things. And so I am learning more about that and hearing from people on all sides of that issue. That bill also just had a hearing. And that may seem like a lot, but that is just sort of a fraction of the things that we'll be considering. And I'm really looking forward to other bills that are going to come across my desk and learning more about those. I want to let folks know before I open it up to questions that if you have questions for me and I can't answer them today, or you'd like more details, you can email me at send.rachelarmitage@oregonlegislature.gov. That is one thing that's really important about bills in Salem, is that often the heart of what's happening is in those details, and I want to make sure I get it right. And then my phone number is 503-986-1716. And again, my email is send.rachelarmitage@oregonlegislature.gov. And that is my update.
Senator Armitage, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to having you here as often as possible. We do this every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. It is broadcast live throughout the county on KTIL. So thank you so much. We're going to go into other Coastal Caucus member reports. I see we do have Representative David Gomberg that joined us. Good morning, Representative Gomberg.
Well, good morning, Commissioners, and good morning, Tillamook County. I just popped in about a minute ago. I stepped out of committee to make the call because I do have committee at 8 o'clock every Tuesday morning. But we're in the... but I'm not missing any votes. I just wanted to jump in here very quickly. So I didn't hear all of Senator Armitage's update for you, but I so much enjoy having her with us, and so that we've got a full contingent to work on those important issues that are impacting the Central Coast. I heard her mention the study on Highway 6. We've got to make improvements there. We've also going to have a hearing this week on my measure to reduce reduce the license costs of recreational fishing so that our charter fleets coming out of Newport, Depot Bay, Garibaldi are able to compete with the similar operations in Washington State that currently cost about a third less. And we're also working to provide some funding so that our coastal hospitals can upgrade their supply of emergency water. The studies indicate that most of our hospitals have about 3 days water supply, when of course we are asking our families to be 2-week ready. We want to make sure that our critical facilities like hospitals, schools, police departments, fire departments have the supplies they need to support the rest of us when a major seismic event occurs. The main thing, Mr. Chairman, that I wanted to say to you is there's a lot going on right now, and it's happening very quickly. That's the nature of a 5-week-long session. But we're now in week 2, and this is do or die week. What that means is that a bill has to be moving this week, or it's not going to move at all. And you've probably seen the headlines about some of the issues that have been proposed, and I'm sure you have feelings about self-service gasoline, which, by the way, is already available in Tillamook County in the evenings, but not in most other parts of the state. Should we implement a sales tax on luxury goods like fur coats or boats or some car brands? Should we increase pay for legislators? That's a bill that's been introduced, interestingly. And I'll remind you that currently legislators get about the same amount of money that I could earn working full-time in a burger stand right now. Those are some of the bills that are out there, as well as larger and more complex issues like agriculture overtime of very significant concern to Tillamook County, and the forestry accord. My message is that some of these controversial bills are simply going to go away. That some of the more complex bills are surely going to see some adjustments, some changes, some amendments if they move forward. And some of the other bills that are less controversial are going to go smoothly and quietly through the process. The most important thing you can do if you're interested in this stuff is to log on to the Oregon Legislative Information System, OLIS, that you've heard us talk about week after week after week. Track the bills, sign up to testify, or send in comments if you want to, and be an informed, engaged part of the process. So I'm talking quickly so I can get back to committee, but I'm going to pause there. I don't know if any of my colleagues are still online, but I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Representative Gomberg. And let's see if we do have Senator Anderson or Representative Weber with us also. Apparently not. So for Senator Armitage and Representative Gomberg, do we have any questions? Hearing none. Both of you, I appreciate very much you being here this morning. Senator Armitage, I do want to just do a shout out to you. Tyler Jansen, who gave testimony on House Bill 4155 earlier, asked me to make sure that we recognize you for your engagement on this bill. Tyler did ask me for some quotes to put in his testimony. The Oregon Cybersecurity Advisory Council, which is going to be run by Portland State University and Oregon State and University of Oregon, it's an extremely important aspect of what we're doing in Oregon. Not the least of reasons being that Tillamook County got hacked a little over two years ago, and that was a horrible situation. So again, for both Representative Gomberg and Senator Armitage, thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate your time so much. We know how busy things are for you. So
thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thank you for being here. Let's move on. So we have the Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy, Gail Nelson. Gail, are you with us this morning?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you, Senators, for your update, and welcome, Senator Armitage. It's nice to meet you today. At the Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy, we will continue our transition to our new name. Previously, we were the Reinhardt Clinic and Pharmacy. We've hired our transportation driver, Ron, and are offering patient transportation to those who have challenges getting here to their appointments. We continue to offer COVID vaccines and tests, as you've already heard, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And anyone who is interested can call the clinic for an appointment at 1-800-368-5182. Otherwise, please never hesitate to call us with any questions or concerns that you may have. If you are experiencing symptoms of COVID or have questions, our staff can be reached at 800-368-5182. And thank you very much for the opportunity to give this update.
Thank you, Gail. Appreciate you being here very much. We do. Let's move on to the Tillamook Family Counseling Center. Is Frank Hanna-Williams with us this morning?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Hey, good morning.
And thank you to the Coastal Caucus for those updates. I'd like to. I'm Frank Hanna-Williams, Director, Tillamook Family Counseling Center, Behavioral Health Services for Tillamook County residents. If you have questions regarding appointments, other questions about any of our services, please give us a call at 503-842-8201. I'd like to just kind of say that there also is some information which may be available regarding our parenting series and also for our QPR program, which focuses on skill building around knowing the kinds of things that one needs to know in order to be able to help a person who may be considering self-harm. And if you have any questions about any of those particular areas, please give us a call at 503-842-8201. Ask specifically about the parenting series and ask specifically about the QPR training. And I will take any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you for that report, Frank. Do we have any questions for Frank Hanna-Williams? Thank you for being here, Frank. Appreciate it very much. Let's go to the Sheriff's Office. I know Sheriff Brown is at conference, although he may be joining by phone, or do we have Matt Kelly on the line? Things must be busy at the Sheriff's Office. Let's go to Emergency Management. I'm not sure that Randy Thorpe is with us this morning. Randy, are you there? I'll bet Gordon McCraw is with us. Gordon.
Good morning to everyone. And
hey, good morning.
Yep, obviously, I'm here. So, been giving Randy a lot to do between you guys and myself. I'm sure he's quite busy. I just sent him another email about some courses that he has to complete. And between that and the meetings, like I said, I know he's a busy bee. So weather-wise, because that's what has affected us most in the past few months, things this week are going to be much mellower than it's been for a while. You obviously do have a dense fog advisory in effect right now, and the last time I looked, and I'll look again right now, visibility out at the airport's up to 2 miles, but just less than an hour ago it was under a quarter of a mile. So if you're out getting ready to go drive, turn on your headlights so that not only can you see, but it's more important, or almost as important, that other people can see you. So be sure to turn on your headlights, even if you're not in fog, because it's patchy and so you could run into it, and it's just a better, safe way to travel. I was looking to see weather-wise, of course, the rest of the week is not looking bad. There is a chance for fog off and on, but you're going to see mostly clear skies the rest of the week, with temperatures after today climbing up to or just above 60. So get your lawnmowers ready. The next chance of rain actually comes in on Sunday, though not all the models agree. Some of them keep the high pressure, which means dry and mild continued, while others bring in a weak front again. And I'm sure as time travels in the week, we'll see which one of those models will win. The other thing of note is I noticed that the beginning of February, you had 9 hours and 46 minutes of sunshine from sun up to sundown. By February the 28th, that'll increase to 11 hours and 6 minutes. So your day is getting longer. If you think it is, it is. And that's really all I have. So thanks very much. And unless somebody has any questions, good day.
Thank you for being here, Gordon. Do we have any questions for Gordon? Thanks so much. Let's move on to the Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Scar.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
So I was delighted to hear that we have some Coastal Caucus representation this morning. I have spent the last 2 days in Association of Oregon Counties, that meeting being Friday and today, or Friday and yesterday, in Association of Oregon Counties committee meetings, really learning about all the different bills that are currently in front of the legislature and looking for ones that really have places we want to provide testimony. So know that we are busily keeping our eyes out for Tillamook County, both for things that are positive and things that might be unintentionally negative. So lots of bills out there. We'll see how things move through committee and then really jump on those that are most important, that survive the initial process. I have written testimony prepared for bills to hope to help them survive the process. We had our first short-term rental advisory committee meeting last week, and I talked about it at this meeting that it was going to happen. It has happened, so we've kicked off the process to review the short-term rental ordinance in Tillamook County. There's a lot of interest in this work. If you go to the website, you can look at the packet from that meeting that all of the advisory committee members were given. The majority of that packet was the 2018 report, so we would know where we were jumping off from. If you want to review that and see what the last process revealed, then you'll be on firm footing to understand where we're going in this current process. So you can always find those meetings. If you go to the Tillamook County website, on the homepage, you see the agendas and minutes button at the bottom. If you click on that, it tells you what upcoming advisory committee meetings are scheduled and gives you information about what will be discussed. So I invite you, if you're interested in the short-term rental committee, those are, I believe, the first Tuesday of each month, and they will be posted there with a link so you can follow along with what we're doing. The other thing I want to bring up is we have spoken about Kilch's House and Halem Bay House and their closings, and I just want to let folks know that I was in touch with Director Starkey at CARE, and those are on track to close this Friday. Residents have been placed into other facilities and other locations, and those buildings will close. Friday this week, Kilch's House is inviting people to do a drive-by farewell. So if on Friday around lunchtime, you can hop in your car and swing through the parking lot at Kilch's House and honk and wave and just let those staff know how much they've been appreciated for the care they have offered for 25 years, that would be amazing. Kilch's House does not have anything currently planned. So I will leave it there. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner Scar. Appreciate that so much. Things have, as Commissioner Scar mentions, things have been busy. We're in the middle of a short session, and this short session is moving rapidly. It is. Matter of fact, over the weekend, I got a call from Tyler Jensen. He was quadruple booked for testimony yesterday morning, and so he asked me to provide testimony on Senate Bill 1506. Which I did, and this was before the Senate Committee on Finance and Revenue. This was a marijuana bill. So ballot measure 110 came in last year and reduced county and city revenues from marijuana by 73%. It was unanticipated. That was not supposed to happen last session. So there are a few fix-it bills in place, and for this session, the short session, Senate Bill 1506 is one of them. It would allow counties and municipalities if they allow a vote of the people to raise taxes by 3 to 10%, and most of that money would come to the local government. So that's something that we're supporting to see if we can't claw back some of that money. Things will be even busier, I think, in 2023 when it comes to marijuana dollars. Again, the counties and local governments are not happy that money promised to them through marijuana was taken away. And so we feel that we can get that back. But there are a couple of bills out there right now that are just kind of fix-it bills to see if we can't get some of that money a little sooner. There's just a lot going on. I've talked about the buy-up ad nauseum. I'm leaving for Washington, D.C. this Friday for the National Association of Counties, and I've got lots of meetings set up, not only with legislators, but with staff at NACO. And we're trying to get the staff positioned to really lobby Congress for what's going to be happening to Tillamook County possibly very soon, within the next year or so. But after they roll out in Oregon, then they are taking this nationwide. But that's why I did get a resolution about the buy-up passed last July at the NACO annual meeting, unanimously in 2 committees. So we're trying to rally our forces nationwide now. Council of Forest Trust Land Counties, we are actively working with the Board of Forestry to make them understand what timber revenue does, how timber revenue is distributed. Most people don't understand that. And the opposite end of the spectrum, where the Department of Forestry and the Board of Forestry really don't understand, is that even though the timber revenue is important to rural counties, but the jobs, the fully benefited family wage jobs that go with the timber industry are extremely important. So those are other issues that we're looking at. The Linn County class action lawsuit continues to move forward. Oral arguments in the Oregon Court of Appeals are set for February 22nd. And that ought to be very, very interesting to see how those oral arguments come out. Again, we talked about this last week. Tillamook County received $62 million for the South Jetty repair. So people, we're going to be, and I've been following some trucks early in the morning. We're going to start seeing trucks with lots and lots of huge rocks on them. So just be aware that they're coming to Tillamook County for a very good reason. We've got a lot of work to do. They're currently working on the North Jetty for some repair. But after that, they're going to start on basically reconstructing the South Jetty, which is extremely important. So that is my quick down and dirty update for what's going on. Do we have any questions for either Commissioner Scar or myself? Then let's move on to the city. City of Manzanita, Mike Scott.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're going to be having our regular monthly city council meeting tomorrow, and the workshop's at 3:00, and the regular meeting starts at 6. And we have a full agenda as usual, which you can view on the city's website. And on our agenda includes a discussion with Commissioner Aaron Scar on Tillamook County's coordinated homeless response. So look forward to seeing everybody. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Mayor Scott. Move on to the city of Nehalem. Do we have Melissa Thompson-Kiefer with us? How about the city of Wheeler? City of Rockaway Beach? Do we have Mayor Hall with the city of Garibaldi? You're pretty quiet this morning. How about the city of Bay City? Mayor McCall.
Yes, good morning. This is Mayor McCall. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, so we are having our regular monthly city council meeting tonight at 6:00 with the full agenda. You know, it's available on our website, and you can attend in person or you can also call in. The call-in numbers are available on the agenda and on the website. We are also having a kickoff wayfinding discussion workshop before that. So we invite the public to come in and work with the council and staff and visit Tillamook Coast in determining what type of signage we would like to see along Highway 101 and in town, directing tourists to our various facilities and opportunities that we have in the city. And with that, that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor McCall. City of Tillamook, Nathan George. Nathan, are you with us?
Good morning, Commissioner. I am.
Hey, good
Can
morning.
you hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Good morning. Wonderful. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Last night, the City Council held their first monthly meeting in February. The city approved with some conditions a request from Electrify America LLC and Jeep to install a 2-vehicle charging port at the City of Tillamook parking lot on the corner of Ivy Avenue and 2nd Street. The council asked that we also look at removing the old one, the old charging station, which is partially defunct and out of maintenance service contract for a very long time. The city also approved an updated job description for the city recorder. And finally, we spent a lot of time going through the city manager operations report in great detail. So for those of you who don't know, ever since I came, I do a full detailed report every first meeting of the month, and I go through the whole operations of the previous month. And then 2 things we added, we're going to be having a little more transparency and working with the department heads that come in on work sessions and just be able to provide the council, be able to answer their questions and give more detail. And that'll be coming up starting here in a few weeks. We'll be doing that every month and rotating through departments. And also I'll be putting on my report not only the past month data, but I'll be putting upcoming things. And some of those things I spoke about, I'll talk more about in the future, but just giving a lot of updates to the council, what's coming up and what's to the public. So also the city has finally received the go-live date for the Service Line Warranties of America program to provide warranties to property owners for sewer, water, indoor plumbing. And the first mailer will go out on February 15th. The second mailer will go out on March 15th. And once again, for roughly $10 per service, each one of those services per month, whether it's your water line, sewer lateral line, or even normal plumbing, wall-to-wall plumbing, you can receive unlimited service and repair calls. For sewer and water, the service pays up to $8,500 per call and $3,000 for indoor plumbing. So again, the city has partnered with this company, and the flyers will include our city logo. So we encourage people who have reason to sign up. The way it works is this is a large international company. They have lots of cities that don't have as many issues, and they're able to use the money for cities that don't have as much from the cities that do have as much. It's a giant warranty program. It's been around for decades. The City of Tillamook is also still accepting applications for the Planning Commission. These are due on the 11th of February. You may contact the Planning Department by calling our main office number or go online to the city's website to obtain an application. And the Tillamook Urban Housing Tour is also accepting an application for a vacancy, and the applications are due to the city by the 9th of February. There will be an upcoming public hearing for a zoning ordinance amendment relating to the requirements for accessory dwelling units on March 3rd. This week, the Public Works Department is focused on projects at the wastewater treatment plant with removal, repair, and reinstallation of the influent screening system, and marking out and preparing various locations around town that have sinkholes. We'll be really addressing the sinkholes. Public Works Department will also be preparing for a water main line repair on Laurel Avenue that will be conducted in either this next week or the week after, depending on when the parks come in. Also, in the police department, we're excited to announce we've received several applications for police officers, and we're looking at setting up interviews soon. We have qualified the entire department on our new duty weapons and the issues, and have issued them out. And the accreditation process is also moving along. Once again, this is something that I brought in last year when I first started. I brought in the Oregon Association Chiefs of Police to do an agency review and take a look at all our processes. And one of the things they recommended was the accreditation process. And becoming an accredited department it helps us set higher standards and make sure we're adhering to them so we can better serve our public. So that's going along really well. We are also looking at establish a reserve officer program, which allows people to volunteer their time and serving our community. So, and the very last thing I wanted to say is that the municipal code, the last time our code was codified, and what that means is that any laws that the council adopts, whether it be an ordinance or resolution, were never codified. They were never put into code, just like the state code. Legislator approves, and then they go into a state code. That hasn't been done since May of 2013. So when I first got here, I worked with our city recorder's office. We gathered up everything we have from that point forward, sent it off to American Legal, our codifying company, and all of that has come back in our first draft. It's still going to be several months before it gets fully integrated onto the council approves the final draft, and it goes back on our code, goes back onto our website. But the wonderful thing is once it's on there, it will be fully updated. Everything has actually been improved. It will be searchable, and I even have a feature signed up where you'll be able to hover over words that have definitions in the code. Like they'll be in blue, and you'll be able to hover over them and see the actual definition rather than going back to the definition section of the code. And from there on out, it will always be codified and sent to American Legal after council approves, so we don't have this delay of things being just put who knows where. So that is all I have, Commissioner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate that report, as always. Let's go to South County. Doug Olson. Doug, are you with us? Mr. Olson? I see you there, but you are muted. Doug? Doug must be having some technological problems. Okay, so with that, I want to thank KTIL for broadcasting and everyone for attending. We will adjourn this community call at 8:51 a.m. Thank you, everyone.